today's tutorial is wax dirt. So let me just show you right off the bat what we're trying to achieve. Right here is regular dirt. Right here is wax dirt. Here's water. Take a little bit of water, put in regular dirt, and you're gonna get regular mud. That's just what happens, guys. Sinks right in, and you can tell just by looking at it, it is turning into mud. Now wax dirt. Get down on this so you can see. Nothing's happening. Shake the table a little bit. You can see the water, it's actually beating off. It's shedding it. So let me make a little channel here. And it's gonna flow down here into this stuff, and I'm gonna just push it in my trash can right here. So wax dirt, you might be asking yourself, why? Why do I need wax dirt? This is for the purpose of trapping. If you're trapping, one of the biggest enemies to a trapper is a frozen trap. So you bury your trap in the ground. It's a nice dry day when you do it. That night it rains, no big deal. It rains, gets a little bit wet. You can deal with a little bit of mud, but let's say 2 days later it freezes. Now you have wet dirt surrounding your metal trap, and you're waiting for an animal to step on your pan for your trap to go off and catch it. Well, if it's wet and then frozen, it's gonna stand on the pan, nothing's gonna happen, you're not gonna catch it. With this stuff here, if you have your trap bedded and buried in wax dirt, no matter what hits it, it's gonna be able to fire. The only problems I've ever had with wax dirt, and this would happen with any method, is if you had frozen solid ice over top of the entire set, which, believe it or not, has happened to me. There's a lot of different ways to make this. I'm gonna show you the method that works for me. Other methods that people use for dirt is a lot of people will use peat moss. Some people use cover hulls. I've used peat moss before. To a degree, I like it. I like that it's lightweight and you can carry it in very easy, but wax dirt is so far the best. What I do is I get this dirt and I sift it from my own area. This dirt right here came from that field right there. That's where I get it from. I sift it, and in our area, we've got lots of little rocks. So I don't get too stressed about rocks, but I try to break up any of the dirt clumps or anything like that. This is a 5-gallon bucket of dirt. You're gonna need 2 to 2.5 pounds of flake wax to make 5 gallons of dirt, all right? So what I use, my turkey fryer, obviously propane turkey fryer. I use a pan. If you have a roasting pan, it's better, but I couldn't find my roasting pan, so this is what I got. I use this pan right here. This is just an old door. I like it because the lacquer and the varnish on the door is really, really smooth, so it makes the process really easy. Here is an entire 5-gallon bucket of dirt. Lay it out on this table. I put a 2x4 up against the hinges just to prevent it from going off the end that I'm not working on. So you get your wax, open it up. This is actually probably a little bit more than 2 pounds because I added it from a bigger bag. And what I'll do is just kind of go like this. Spread it around all over the place. And you can see I got wax clumps that are falling. I'll show you what to do with them. I mean, it's, in my opinion, it's self-explanatory. This is not hard, by the way, at all. The hardest part is sifting the dirt. My least favorite part. Now, I don't mix it all in at once. I do just like that. I break up the wax clumps. And I'll just use my fingers. And I'll just start mixing it. I'll just mix it around. I make it till I can't see the wax anymore. And then I do it, and I keep mixing it like that until the bag is gone. All right, guys, once you got all your wax mixed in, so you've got 2 to 2.5 pounds of wax mixed in 5 gallons of dirt. I actually do a little bit less than 5 gallons because the lid I like goes down inside. So this is more probably like 4 3/4 gallon. So 2 pounds seems to work really good for me. You should be able to look at any point, dig, and find that there's wax mixed in thoroughly with your dirt. Then you know you're ready to go. Here's the roaster pan I'm using, and I'll just start sliding it off my table into the pan. It'll normally take about 4 panfuls for every 5 gallons. So I go like that. I like to run mine on low, and I leave it on low. All throughout this process, I pull out any big rocks, any, like that right there, I'm not really sure it is soft. It might be a little worm. I'm not really sure what it was. I just keep pulling stuff out. Now you see that I'm wearing these gloves. This is good for the beginning, but once you start grabbing hot dirt, you're gonna want to switch to a thicker glove. So anyway, I mix this in and I start giving it some time. First thing you'll notice is right along the edges, you'll start seeing it gets wet. That's your goal. You're trying to make it look like it's wet. You want all that wax mixed and melted. So I like to use this little tiny cheap garden rake. I don't know how much I got this for. It was pretty cheap. And I'll just kind of go like this and mix it around. And this could take a while. I mean, 5 to 10 minutes. I like leaving it on low because if you go too high, you'll start burning things. I mean, you'll literally burn wax dirt. You overcook it and it smokes. If it's smoking, it's no good. Steam, it's all right, but smoke is no good. You'll know if you're pulling out wax dirt and it's black on the bottom, you're going too hot, so you need to calm it down a little bit. So low heat, now you can see right there, right along the edges, it's starting to get wet. That wax right along that metal is already starting to melt. And I just keep mixing it. The goal is to mix this until the dirt goes from a light brown to a dark brown. All right, guys, you can see the color of it's changing. It's getting darker. That means the wax is getting pretty wet, pretty well melted. And every once in a while, if I let it sit for too long, it starts to steam. So I'm getting really close. It took about 5 minutes. It wasn't really long, but what I like to do at this point, I try to find any area that looks really light brown, like it's dry, and I try to mix that dark color into it so that hot wax starts getting involved with the wax that maybe didn't get heated. This is not an exact science, so just keep mixing it until you get everything nice and dark colored, and then you know you're ready. These things really cheap, dollar store, good thing to buy. You can tell now this is mixed in really well. It's a really dark color, so what I'm going to do is dump it on my table. I'll show you kind of how I do that. I like to just pick it up, walk it over, and I'll just take it and kind of just tap it. Oh, you're getting all shook up, I'm sorry. Just talking to you at home. Shake it all up just like that. You're going to see the steam and the smoke that comes off of it. Put your pan down somewhere safe. You're gonna see this stuff steaming. What I like to do real quick is just start getting it. Any area that looks like it might be dry, I try to get it covered with something that looks wet. This is where it's important to wear a glove that's not gonna let yourself get burned. Like just like that. On this point, you wanna let it dry. You wanna let that wax become dry again. So I just kind of keep mixing up every couple minutes. It makes it really good. You want to prevent it from clumping. And if it does clump, it's easy. You can just break it up with your hands. Just like that, it's not a big deal. And then you're gonna want to get it in your bucket or get your next batch started. And that is it, guys. That's, I mean, that's really all there is to making wax dirt. You can see the difference. This is dirt that's complete, and this is dirt yet that has not been melted. So, I mean, there's definitely a color difference. You're gonna get a darker color. That's what you're shooting for. If you try a batch and you're not sure if you did it right, do the test I did at the beginning. Make like a little volcano, put some water in it. If the water, you know, seeps into it, then you didn't do well enough. You need more wax. And if it sheds it, then you did a great job. I like to put my stuff back into 5-gallon buckets and store it inside somewhere. That's the best. You can store it outside if you want, which I did last year, and it led to a little bit of mold on the top layer of my dirt. It wasn't a huge deal. I was still able to salvage plenty of it, but I lost a little bit of that top layer. So just keep that in mind as you're doing that. Oh, just like final treatment for your traps, once the stuff is made and you have your wax dirt and it's dry and now it's ready to go, don't touch it with your bare hands. If you touch it with your bare hands, you're gonna get your scent on it. Ultimately, this is for your canines, so you don't want them to be able to smell you. So wear gloves. Hey, thank you guys so much again for checking out this this video, this little tutorial. If it was helpful, you know, let me know in the comments. Let me know what I did right. Let me know what I did wrong. Let me know your methods. Keep in contact. There's not a lot of trappers left. I'm trying to add some new life to this sport because I love it so much. I just want to thank all the subscribers. We just hit 180 is the last time I checked, so that's really cool. Shooting for 200, and you know the star's next. So just thank you so much for the support. God bless everybody. Tight chains, and I'll see you next time.